Hi everybody, this is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself world and the Off-Grid Project. Take 2. I just did a whole long... My GPS is talking over me now. I just did a whole long video recording using the camera that... this is the camera I got from Goliath Man. And I forgot to set the settings. I had it on loop and didn't realize that because it's in car recording mode, so it goes on a loop and records for 2 minutes and then resets. And 3 minutes, 5 minutes, I don't know how long I talked. I looked up and it restarted. So I will start this over again. I'm on the road and heading to the DMV again. It's a beautiful day. I should be working on the Homestead, but yet a third day, and I am working with vehicles. And it takes, in New York, at least a half a day, if not your entire day, to do anything with your motor vehicle. For one thing, because it takes 45 minutes one way just to get to the DMV, and then depending on how many people are ahead of you, you could wait as much as half a day to an entire day to get in line. And today I'm going, and I'll explain why I'm going later instead of being there when the door opened. But today I'm going to deregister, and he's got a welding machine so he can fix it up. He's got time in his hands, and he's going to take out the piston and fix it, the lift bed piston, so he's going to work on all that. And so I think we're all happy. I think it works out for everybody. Now, Melanie, obviously, I am still working on bringing her home. Obviously, I just traded my truck for an oven for Melanie, so there's a lot of tabloid rumors out there, and a lot of crazy stuff being sent around about how she's just using me and she just took me for my money and all kinds of weird stuff. But no, we're still talking all the time. We're still engaged, and we have turned in our paperwork to the government, the USCIS, to be processed, and they still haven't looked at it yet. It's been a month since we turned it in, since they received it. It's been a month since they received it, and they haven't done a thing. The government is slower than molasses in January unless you don't pay your taxes. Boy, then they're on you fast. So it takes anywhere between a month to 6 months and a year. And with the new terrorist attacks in California, they're talking about freezing visas. And Melanie and I are praying that even though she still does make it here by Christmas, so please keep that in prayer, those of you who do pray. Please do pray for us that she's here before Christmas, here with me. We really want to get her home. She's working long, hard hours, 18, 20-hour days, 7 days a week, and I don't want to see her doing that anymore. I want her to come home and get good nights of sleep and rest and peace and happiness. So keep that in prayer if you all would, please. Anyway, I'm heading to the Newburgh Department of Motor Vehicles, and hopefully it'll go fast. We'll see how it goes. And I've been playing around with this camera before, but I never did a full video yet until today. And I figured I'd haul it out and do some recording, see how it does, get it up there for you all to see. And if anybody's interested, you can ask, and I'll give you some specs and details.
After 600 yards, turn right.
Yeah, my British GPS is talking to me. Anyway, this is a 1920 by 1080 resolution, so it's pretty high definition camera. So hopefully the voice will be as good as the video.
Turn right.
So anyway, what else? I've spent the last few days working on the DMV, working on vehicles. It is an all-day event, so forgive me for not being around at the Homestead. Saturday was cleanup day, and I got all that garbage out. And I saw some people who don't seem to have a lot of knowledge about how much garbage was really there. One guy said I could do that in a couple hours. Well, next time please come on over, because it took 13 people an entire day to build up that pile. Maybe it looks small on camera, but for one person alone to dispose of all that pile, it was exhausting. It was an all-day job. But it's gone. It's all gone. And I'm going to continue cleaning up the homestead regularly until there's nothing in the meadow but the tiny house on wheels and a beautiful garden like the palaces. If any of you have had the privilege of visiting a palace or a castle, the palace gardens are quite beautiful, and my idea is to have some nice walk-through gardens with benches here and there and a gazebo in the middle. And this is obviously,
at the end of the road, turn left.
This is obviously long-term goals, but I do have intentions on cleaning up the entire meadow and just having really beautiful gardens there. So hold on, my GPS is going to talk to me again.
Turn left.
There she goes. So the herb garden and vegetable garden will be mixed together, and you'll have these pathways through the raised bed gardens, and I have plans of having high fenced areas all the way around the perimeter. And I'm going to have the chicken wire, obviously, is going to keep the chickens from exiting the protected meadow area. And I need to rebuild that. That'll probably be in the spring when I rebuild the whole entire system. I will be using barbed wire with electric wire, and I checked the laws, although my trolls have warned me that they talked to the sheriff and said they'll have them come out as soon as I finish the barbed wire. I checked with the laws, and it's totally legal as long as you mark it clearly every 30 feet, which is a lot of signs. So I'm going to have to get some signs done up, but I'll do it. So the entire perimeter of the property where the chicken run will be rebuilt. I'll redo all the chicken wire that was beat down. And yes, I had some people over and they said, yes, that was beat down. It wasn't done by animals. That was beat down. You clearly see it. But anyway, moving forward, I'll rebuild it and have the barbed wire, and I'm going to have 3 strands of barbed wire and 3 strands of hot wire alternating on that new fence outside the chicken fence. So that'll keep any animals anyway, from getting through, and any humans will be slowed down at the very least. And then I'm going to have alarms around the perimeter, just because sadly you can't ignore the trolls and they'll go away because they come to my house.
Hi everybody, Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. I am back to the homestead. The thermometer reading is not right. It is 89 degrees in here and sunny, 54 outside, and a beautiful day, sunny day today. Shadows are getting longer though. It is 2:30 in the afternoon, so I only got an hour and a half of daylight left. I just got home and had my lunch, actually my breakfast I should say, my first meal of the day. 14% humidity though is pretty bad, so let me take you outside and show you what I've been up to. Before I go out, I forgot, I wanted to show you the oven that I got in exchange for my truck. So I've got a brand new propane 2-shelf oven. It's got spots for 3 different positions here with 2 shelves. This is a propane oven. You can use it with the little canisters or with 20-pound cylinders. And it is a very large size oven. The grates are big enough you could do an entire casserole. You could cook 2 casseroles in here at once. You could cook 2 loaves of bread in there easily. And you could almost fit a pizza in there. You could fit a 12-inch pizza. If you had an 18-inch pizza, you'd have to cut it in half, put it on a square cookie tray, and adjust the sides, the pieces, but it'll fit. You cook 2 18-inch pizzas in there if you cut them in half and adjusted it. But there's an oven for Melanie. So yes, she's coming home, and I got this for her. Now I've got it tucked under my counter right now. It fits beautifully there, like it was made for it. If you slide this open and flip up the top, you've got a two-burner propane stove as well. It's a regular oven. It's a Camp Chef brand, and it's got the two burners on top and an actual oven with a thermostat and thermometer, and you just use it like a normal real household oven. Just that this is mobile, it's portable, it's got handles on the sides, and it's designed for camping. Can't imagine wanting to take an oven camping, but certainly for an off-grid homestead, having an oven is good for especially summers when you're not using the wood stove so much. So that is partially what I traded the truck for. Let me take you around outside and show you what else has been going on. On the way back from the DMV today, I stopped over to the scrap metal yard. It wasn't too far out of my way. And I got these batteries. These are scrap metal price, so basically I paid for your outgoing scrap metal value. These are Alpha Cell 195 XTV 12 volt batteries. It says 195 minutes at 25 amps. So it's 195 minute capacity at 25 amps. These are deep cycle solar powered batteries, and I took a risk on these. I've learned to judge a battery based on its appearance. I know it's a risk, but I bought these today, and I'll show you the voltage in this. A mind-blowing. Let me see if I can get that to stick. I don't know if you can see the meter. Let me see if you can see the numbers on the meter. I am quite surprised and happily impressed. I don't know if you'll see that until we get to the computer later. But I'm very pleased that I took a risk and got a battery with 12.51, 12.50 volts. So these are fully charged solar batteries. The next battery is 12.53 volts. Alright, and then I got an interstate battery that's still under guarantee, 814. So what was that, August 2014? It's just over a year old, so it's still under guarantee. And this one is at 12.35 volts, which is low for a battery, but I'm going to integrate these into my solar system, my backup solar powered system. And there's a battery load test on here that checks with a green light. If you notice, there's a load test, automatic load test on these, and it shows a green LED light. Checks positive on each of these. I'm not sure with this meter exactly how it's doing a load test, but seems to be automatic. But anyway, there's 3 very good solar batteries to add to my off-grid homestead. So anyway, I got home and I had lunch, and that was it. Then I grabbed the camera to show you what I've got here, and then I'll show you something that just arrived in the mail. Let me get it out. So it looks like the sun is blinding the camera, but I just got a big 100-watt solar panel in the mail today. It's this high-quality premium solar panel from Renogy, R-E-N-O-G-Y. It's taped and glued, it looks like. So I've got a 100-watt solar panel here. Brand new 100-watt solar panel, and I bought this with the money from my website advertising accounts. Just so you know, this is separate from the YouTube, so my websites are helping me out. And because Melanie's on the way, sorry, I know I'm holding my hand funny. I sliced my finger open pretty bad yesterday. So Melanie on the way, I'm definitely going to need more solar, and these are 12
12-volt panels that I'll be getting here to use with my 12-volt charge controller. I made a mistake and I bought a 12-volt charge controller, and then now that I have it, I figured I might as well get 12-volt solar panels for it. So I don't think you can see what I'm doing here, can you? Yeah. So there's a 12-volt 100-watt brand new solar panel, and every paycheck I get from that advertising account, I will take and get a new solar panel for the tiny house on wheels. It's a brand new, beautiful 100-watter. So I gotta get that hooked up. Now I've got about an hour left of daylight, and I've got to decide where to spend my last hour of my time here. My car's brakes are bad, so I think I'm going to go look at them real quick and concentrate on that. This will have to be for after dark or tomorrow, even though I'm excited and anxious to get this going. The car brakes are really bad, so I'm going to see what it takes to replace them. So we'll see in a little bit here, figure out which way I'm leaning here. The cats are trained or something. They hear the sound of that tripod setting up, and they run to the... Come here, don't push on that. Come here, you want to see the box? They hear that tripod and they come running. Don't push on that. No, don't. Come on. Don't. Don't push on that. So I got a box in the mail, and it's funny, like I said, the cats, they hear that tripod and come running. This is, the company's on the side, it says factory direct sale, FDS. I don't know, I gotta see what this is. There's a lot of pieces to whatever it is. A very, very useful LED work light. Very nice looking LED floodlight, rechargeable LED floodlight. It's 10 watts. Lithium battery, 7.4 volts, 2.2 amp hours. Interesting. Whoa! Aye! That's bright. Wow. That is bright. Very good. Well, I'm going to get this going in the charger here. Whoa, I blinded myself. Comes with a cigarette lighter plug for charging, which I will promptly plug in while the sun is shining. Take advantage of that fact. And we got some screws here. Oops, scared Felix the cat. This will come in useful, very, very, very useful around here, because it is a rechargeable. I better put this one in first. Does that go into screwed under? This is, yes, it goes into a screwed under. Well, being rechargeable, it means I can use this anywhere. That is so awesome. I'm not sure yet who sent this. Is there a thing in here? Just the instructions. Comes with a 12 volt and a plug-in wall charger. It's got to be the wall charger, which I will put aside for now, since I am off the grid. Felix is happy. Felix is always happy, aren't you, Felix? There's something to smell and look at. Oh, this is great. I want to hook up those new batteries I just picked up today. I'm going to experimentally hook them up for a couple days and see how they work on the off-grid homestead, which means I won't have power out here for a period of time. So I'm going to probably take this in over to a charging station, my 12-volt charging station, plug it in. Well, I see no notes or anything, so I'll look up who sent this, and if it's meant to be public, I'll thank them publicly, and if not, then I want to thank you anyway. This is a super, super high-powered LED, 10 watts. 10 watts is a lot of power. So, 2.2 amp hour battery pack at 7.4 volts. Lighting time 4 hours. Charging time 4 to 5 hours, and lighting time 4 hours. Well, I'm gonna plug it in and charge it up for tonight.
Good morning, everybody. Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World, the Off-Grid Project. 34 out. It was 30 this morning, and rising slowly. Not going to be very warm today. This video you will see today. I'm recording this now, and I guess you're going to get to see how long it takes me to make a video live, because I'm going to take you outside and show you what I finished last night, experimentally, and then I'm going to make this video live, including yesterday's footage and today's. So let's go outside. Last night I took these alpha cell batteries that I just picked up as scrap metal the other day from the recycling yard, and I connected them to the tiny house on wheels, disconnecting the forklift battery. There's the connection there. Disconnected the forklift battery, and then I plugged in my little tiny Harbor Freight 800 watt generator and a 20 amp automatic charger. I only put it on a 10 amp setting, which was a very gentle charge for these guys, since they were at 12.5 volts standing after sitting around for who knows how long. You can see how dusty they are. I didn't know what their status of charge was, so I put it on 10 amps, which was a gentle 5 amps each for these, and then I ran the generator as I worked last night, and when I was done working, I came out and the charger was at 0 amps. I had noticed there was a noticeable sound change in the generator as the charger was backing off on the charging current on the batteries. So they were full. But then I came out this morning when I looked at the status of charge again, they were down to 12.3 volts. Very, very weird. You guys have noticed that I'm always at 12.3 volts every morning, no matter what I put on this tiny house. So that is weird. These were at 12.5 standing for who knows how long, sitting in the warehouse over there, and now this morning they were at 12.3 volts after sitting overnight. So there must be a vampire somewhere in the system. What I'm going to have to do is start rigging up some switches, some master kill switches, and experimentally kill everything at night, and then flip it all back on in the morning and see what the status of charge is. Because these are special. These are AGM, these are glass mat batteries, and these are extreme temperature, extreme weather and extreme temperature batteries. They are designed especially for extreme temperatures. So down to minus 40 degrees Celsius. These are rated to be used and to give full service at minus 40 degrees Celsius. So these are extreme cold weather batteries, which is perfect for the tiny house on wheels. But again, what bothers me is that they were 12.3 volts this morning with the power inverter shut off, and the only drains in the tiny house were my cell phone charging and what else? The toilet fan, which is a fraction of an amp. So there's a vampire somewhere in the system, and I have to find it and kill it. So I'm going to have to do some experiments, but at least I'm happy that I found out that it wasn't my forklift batteries giving me trouble all this time. There's a vampire draining everything down, and it always seems to be 12.3 volts. So, well, I don't like ghosts in the lines, so I'm going to try to find it and kill it. Well, let me get this video live, and I'm going to leave these on here for a couple days and experiment, maybe even a week or two, just to see how they perform and play around and see what I get out of them. They're 200 amp hour batteries each, so right there is 400 amp hours of power. That is a lot of power. I think I calculated it was 2,500 watts of usable energy with these batteries connected here. So not bad at all. Nowhere near what the forklift battery has, but these are good. Alright, well, let me get this up and talk to you later. Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project.